The following video contains spoilers for Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. If you are just now playing X with the new Definitive Edition or skipped out on 2, you are good. Remember to click the YouTube buttons and brace yourself for an existential crisis from silly sword video games. There are a lot of ruins in the world of Aionios. Some are wreckage from conflicts in the endless war between Kevez and Agnes, but most are ruins from the original 2 universes that make up the Endless Now. This can be fun fanservice for players of the previous games when they see a familiar name or area design they recognize, but often it won't elicit feelings beyond, "That's cool, I know that thing." This is largely because these places are in the state we would expect abandoned areas to be in, considering the state of Aionios. Notable landmarks have been ravaged by time, knocked over, or are missing sections and are typically far from settlements. Even large reminders such as the Mechonis sword and arm or the bodies of the Titans aren't that bizarre from this perspective, as they were already geographical features to begin with. They continue to serve that purpose even within this millennia of stilled time. By contrast, new and maintained structures in Aionios almost never call back to the previous games directly, as of course the people building them would have no direct knowledge of any of those two worlds. And then there's this. This single wall decoration got to me like nothing else in Aionios ever did. This frieze is first seen in Xenoblade Chronicles 1, and is a fairly accurate depiction of that game's world. The titanic bodies of the Bionis and Mechonis that died in the mists of fighting each other, an eternal symbol of the feud between the gods Mainith and Zanza. Any player of the original game would have seen it quite prominently, as not only is it found in the imperial capital of Alchemoth, a major location in the first game, it's also the focus of a small but mandatory cutscene where the current emperor of Alchemoth explains its significance to Shulk and by proxy the player. But here it is again in Kevez Castle. Now it makes sense, as the castle is Alchemoth after being incorporated into the Endless Now, but up until this point in the game, only its exterior conveyed that physically. See, during the progression of Xenoblade Chronicles 3, the player will actually go inside this castle and explore quite a lot of it around the halfway point in the story. But during that part of the game, this area with the frieze is blocked off from the player. However, right before the final dungeon, the story will also swing back through Kevez Castle as part of a fetch quest to unlock said final dungeon. This time, it is required that you use the front entrance and see this frieze front and center in the hall. This may not be true for everyone, but for me it had been so long both in-game and in real life since I had last been to the castle, and so much stuff had happened that the connection between the castle and Alchemoth on anything but a superficial level had been completely swept from my mind. Especially since the equivalent Agnes Castle had also lacked any references to Xenoblade 2. Then I saw this, and my mind was sent reeling. This is not sitting lost in some abandoned cavern or on an island. This is in the capital of Kevez. In the sparking entry hall. Soldiers walk past this frieze every day, but they have no way to know of its significance. How can they? The very concept of what it could possibly be has been scrubbed from their minds, and there's no one left from Bionis who could inform them of its full context. And yet, here it remains, a piece of art and culture from a world lost an eternal moment ago, being maintained by people who can't even comprehend why someone would make such a thing, unknowingly showing reverence to gods who have been dead longer than anyone there could even remember. An empty echo of a world that has not yet died. And that is where my script originally ended. One more note of sadness and existential terror for a game whose entire world was designed, both inside and outside its story, to be exactly that. Having to wade through all that negativity made it difficult for me to record, and I am certain it would leave all of you with a minor bout of depression. It was in the midst of these issues that I remembered what game I was talking about. Sure, the people who live in Kevez Castle can't see the depths behind this art piece, but we can. Aionios, even when Mobius is trying its best, is not devoid of meaning and connection. These people may have had hope driven out of them, but even then, there are those that work for a better future, even though they cannot know for sure what that future will be. Even if the road ahead is dark, that does not mean there is no path forward.
For the roads, they go on without end. So look up, face forward, toward your chosen horizon, and just walk on.